You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 7 different gunshots. After a roughly 5-hour standoff, officials have cleared the home of all people. A woman was found dead inside the apartment, and 3 people were injured, including the suspect and 2 officers. People went to work clearing their roads, their sidewalks, their driveways, and that's what created these. The top research reason: bullying. It's important to think about how all these people are getting to and from the area. It's as easy as rolling out of bed, finding an open place in your home. Police received word of vandalism in the area this morning. You won't be walking because that's about a 4-mile trek. So that means waiting outside in the elements. A federal agency is looking into the school's use of seclusion and restraint, either having someone trying to break into their car or getting in and rummaging through their center console. Earlier this evening, the roads were filled with water. A young girl under the age of 15 was sexually assaulted in Grand Forks. Sadly, it's one of thousands of such cases in the Valley.
We see over 3,000 clients a year in our walls, but we know that there are so many more people in the community directly affected by violence.
33-year-old Derek Mortrude pleaded guilty to solicitation of a minor. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison with 5 years of probation.
The way a person experiences the world after trauma can be so very different from pre-trauma. So the way they think about themselves, other people, the world as a whole, all of that can really change.
Grunbach says a person can potentially live with symptoms after trauma for the rest of their life.
There's depression, anxiety, chemical dependency, the impact of secondary trauma to the families and children that witness it.
While the victim struggles, there is a growing concern that those found guilty of such crimes don't struggle enough, some getting out of jail too soon.
And I think ultimately it's a good sign that people are upset when they consider how much it's going to impact a survivor, what they've been through, potentially how much. I think people get to be outraged about abuse.
We spoke to several defense attorneys about abuse and assault cases. While no one wanted to go on camera, they did say there is no cookie-cutter answer. Different factors come into play. Was there bodily injury? Does the defendant have a history of these crimes? What's the right charge given the circumstances? While the court system is set up to use the law for adequate sentencing, the court of public opinion can be much different, at times leaning on emotion, leaving the two sides at odds over what is just for the accused. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live. More than 100 hot rods, classics, and done-up cars filled the South High parking lot in Fargo. But this is no ordinary car show. It's all to make this man, Larry Schaefer, smile.
My dad's dying of stage 4 lung cancer. He's got maybe a week left. And with this COVID, we can't really do anything. So I decided that what better thing to do for a car gearhead to throw a car show. So I posted a post on Facebook, and as you can tell, it worked.
It definitely did. Larry might not be able to complete all the things on his bucket list, but the community came together to make this Sunday afternoon one he will never forget.
He can have one last hurrah. We don't even know if he'll be able to have a funeral with everything going on. So it's one really last big hurrah for my dad.
Each car, truck, and motorcycle took their turn driving past Larry's home, putting on a show.
Larry's been a good friend of mine for all my, I grew up with his family, basically, and it was a good cause. I hate to see what he's going through, and give him much support as we can.
Friends, family, and even people who have never met Larry rallied together.
It's incredible what the Fargo-Moorhead community can do when it comes down to it. I mean, helping to support each other.
Gearheads coming from near and far.
It's a sign of respect. There's times when it seems like you can't do much, there's something you can do.
As everyone drove by, the smile grew on Larry's face, leaving him stunned.
It was awesome. I never realized it, that there was that many of them all at one time that would come and see you and prayed by your house.
The community offering up their love and support for one of their own. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.